Hello, everybody. Jameer is a statue, a living statue, so he's not saying hello. We're going to give him a few seconds to come in. Come in, Jameer. Come in, Jameer. Hello, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
My name is Deandra.
And I'm Jameer.
And thank you for tuning in to Meet the Nicholsons. Revamp.
Definitely.
Listen, y'all, I want to say hi. I want to thank you guys for joining us today.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful day here in South Kakalaki, so we're glad to have you. Listen, I'm going to apologize up front for my energy. I know, like, I'm already on 10, but since our recent lifestyle change, I'm on like 10,000. But we are so happy to have you.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, how you doing? Hey, sir, how you doing?
Yeah, we apologize for the last minute. We did switch it up. We were gonna go live, but technical difficulties, so it's cool. Anywho, let's get into it, babe. So how was your day going?
My day has been great today. Although I woke up this morning with some little stomach issues. I don't know if I had a bad tomato or what, but yeah, I had some fluctuation going on this morning in the bed.
Too much information.
And I thought Jameer was already out the room when it came out, and then he turned around and he was like, turn that truck off, and I was a little bit embarrassed.
Right. Yeah,
but I was like, we have been together for so many years. He don't care if I fart.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying. But babe, let's talk. Let's tell the people what's been going on. What has been going on with you?
So yeah, December 17th, I ate something. And it turned out to be one of the last things I want to eat now. But anyway, due to my bad eating habits, I ate something that put me in a really tough position where my chest was just like, felt like somebody had dropped a boulder on it and I couldn't remove it. So I woke you. How did you feel at that point, babe? I want to get you in on this because I was in the room just, minding my business. She fixed me something to eat. And the next thing I know, I'm on the floor, like, crouched down, standing up, moving. I can't find any comfort.
So if y'all could imagine, for me, he is like one of the strongest men I know. I'm not just saying that because it's my husband, but he takes pain really well. I don't know if y'all know, but he has like half of his fingers. He had an accident at work a few years ago where his fingers were hanging off, and they were able to save a couple of them. But anyway, even then, when I met him at the hospital with that, he was sitting there cool, calm, and collected. Like, I'm like, are you okay? Are you in any pain? And he was just like, no, I'm good.
What you gonna do, cry?
So that is with his fingers hanging half off. Now, this particular day, like he said, he just ate something. He is crying out for me to come in the room. I come in the room and my husband is rolling around on the floor in pain. I gotta go now. Let's go to the hospital right now. And I'm like, you want me to call the ambulance? No, just take me. He couldn't even put his coat on, barely put his shoes on.
Too expensive. No.
Anyway, so we get to the hospital and they do a bunch of tests and things like that, and they come back with, we think it's your gallbladder. Yeah.
They thought it was my gallbladder, and they weren't even sure. The way they came in, it was like they weren't even sure. At this time, though, the pain was starting to kind of subside. So I was feeling a little bit better. And from what they came up with on what is it, CAT scan, CT scan, or whatever? Yeah. So they took X-rays. They did everything. They actually did a sonogram. That's the first time I had one of those. So, but that's what they arrived at. They wanted to take out my gallbladder. Right. And shout out to my brother. He actually told me that it might be, but it just wasn't feeling right. So I didn't agree.
Well, here's the thing. So they take out his gallbladder, and they were like, they gave me a call. The doctor said, hey, we done with the surgery. It looks like he had been in pain for quite some time now because his gallbladder was in pretty bad shape. He had tons of stones.
Yeah, but I wasn't, surprisingly, I really wasn't. And the pain would come and go depending on what I ate. So it wasn't a big deal. I mean, I was used to having reflux, and that's what I attributed it to in the beginning.
Right. And then after they did the surgery, I go to see him. He looks fine. He is not in pain. He's up and talking. We vibing. I'm like, okay, let's get ready to go. We leaving. Until later that night when he had a piece of a turkey and cheese sandwich.
Dun, 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 dun.
Which is a blessing now, because if you would have went home, they released you, and you got home and ate and experienced that pain, that would have been horrible.
Think about that.
Right. So he calls me, he eats the sandwich, we talk for a while, have to go home because visiting hours at the hospital is kind of crazy now due to COVID. Had to go home. He calls me around 2 or 3 in the morning, like, babe, I'm in so much pain.
Worst turkey sandwich I ever had, okay?
Yeah, it was a turkey sandwich.
Life-threatening
and not all your
turkey
eating habits
sandwich
throughout your whole life.
Life-threatening hospital turkey sandwich.
So Yeah, so he's in this worst pain ever. I get to the hospital the next day. He can barely keep his eyes open. He is hunched over. His body feels warm. There's heat coming from him. His temperature was, I think, 103.
See, I wasn't aware of any of that. And Bae, if you could go into, because she knows a little bit better than me, I was kind of in and out, but go into, what happened exactly. So they took my gallbladder out, and then a stone.
Oh yeah.
Escaped.
So what happened was, they explained it like this. His gallbladder has so many kidney stones in it.
Kidney stones.
I'm sorry, not kidney stones. His gallbladder has so many gallstones inside of it that and the gallstones come from, by the way, bad eating habits. If you eat a lot of greasy foods, fried foods, foods that are high in fat, you'll develop gallstones. And so many people have gallstones. I even have gallstones. So many people I know have had their gallbladder removed because of this. But anyway, so he had a whole bunch of them stacked with them. They removed it. Now, when he called me 2 a.m, what the doctor said what had happened was one of those stones fell out and fell into the duct of the pancreas, causing pancreatitis.
Worst thing ever.
Yeah. Explain the pain to them.
I can't put it in words. I've tried this so many times. It's like, for one, I've never felt a pain where you don't get any comfort from at least moving a certain way or stopping a certain time and then it's coming back. No, this thing was constant pain. You don't get to sleep. You can't sit down certain times. You can't stand up certain times. It travels to your back, although it's in your midsection. It causes you to breathe funny. I knew you were in a lot of pain, like excruciating pain, when not only because you normally don't act like that, but because the doctor came in. First they were like giving him like this 3rd degree, like, oh, you here for pain med type thing. But then once this pain set in, they were coming in like clockwork, giving him oxycodone. They thought I was an oxyhead, y'all.
Giving him oxycodone, giving him stuff in his IV. It was just like every couple seconds they were giving him all this medication, to the point where I started getting concerned, like, does he need that much? And the doctor said, your husband is in excruciating pain.
Yeah.
And then he goes and say it's not working.
It wasn't working. I just want him to knock me out. Why is it so hard to get knocked out of the hospital?
I felt so stupid, y'all. He asked me. He said, D, just tell the doctor, just put me to sleep. Put me to sleep. I just can't. I can't deal with it. And I asked the doctor. I said, is there any way you guys can just put him to sleep? And they're like, no, ma'am, we can't do that.
They won't put you out as much as you pay. I should be able to put.
It was bad. And then something else that was very worrisome for me is that, okay, so not only does he, throughout these 20 days, he develops a fever. You start losing oxygen. They put you on oxygen.
Yeah, that was weird.
They put a feeding tube in.
Yeah, that was like 5 days in. Feeding tube with pancreatitis, nothing to eat.
Nothing to eat or drink by mouth.
That is the worst.
They put a feeding tube. So I went from having a husband that could talk to now my husband is on oxygen. He has 103 fever. He has a feeding tube. I don't know what is going on. And
it wasn't like a feeding tube in your mouth. They put it in through your arm. It went through
the main heart.
Yeah, into my
heart
chest.
Catheter. Yeah.
I don't know what the medical terms are, but anyway, it was uncomfortable.
That's what they said. But it was so I'm looking at all of that and I'm just like, what is happening here? On top of all of that, he is now talking out the side. He's not even speaking right.
Yeah, that was due to all the medication.
I just gotta give him an example, babe, because I just can't get away from this. So one day he was like, babe, it's the shoe store, the Beetlejuice store next door. And I said, the what store? Ain't it the shoe store down there?
She won't let me forget it.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Then he closes his eyes and he's like, you can't see this. See what, babe? It's just so many colors and they're beautiful, and I'm not the creator. And I'm just like, yo, I had to go and talk to the doctor. Like, listen, is he gonna be all right mentally after this? Because we don't know. I don't know. Seriously though, I didn't know if I was gonna lose my husband or not. And it was a tough time for me and the kids. It was just a tough time. So coming to, Jameer started, getting a little better, and this is about day 15. And one day he's just like, babe, you ever thought about being vegan? And I'm like, what? Heck no, is she crazy? He's like, watch Tabitha. I want you to watch this video from this lady named Tabitha Brown.
So basically, I just pretty much came to the realization that my eating habits led me there, and that's a place you don't ever want to be, because I I put it on a scale like this. Either I could have made a choice to lose weight, or I was going to be forced to lose weight or eat healthier. And you trust me, you don't want to be forced in that way, in no way.
And then we also got into the conversation of how our eating habits were really not our choice. Yeah. This is how we were brought up to eat. It was something that's woven in our culture to eat this way. So we thought we were eating right. And then we started talking about how we want better for our children. Yeah. Like when we know better, we do better. So I want better for them. And that's been a journey too. So now we're vegan.
So yeah, that's the big surprise, the big reveal.
Yes.
So
vegan for life.
So
hey y'all, wait, let me just tell them, listen, I'm sorry. I know I'm already like, my energy is already on 10, but since I've been eating this diet, I just got so much energy. It's like, it's crazy, but go ahead.
I got energy too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we're vegan now, and we just decided to bring that to the channel. So it's going to be revolving kind of around that,
right.
You know what I mean? We're gonna be bringing some different content as far as product reviews and things like that.
Right.
How we've been eating is gonna be, beginner vegan, one-on-one.
Yeah. We're on this journey. We're starting this journey. We probably about 6 weeks in. Mm-hmm. We want to take y'all along. We want to show y'all what recipes and show y'all how the kids are doing. Like we've been trying to phase the kids out. They've been doing well so far, but we've been phasing them out. We'll get more into that later, but we want to show you what it's like so that you come on a journey with us. And babe, let's tell them about the doctor visit.
All right, so real quick, we went to my doctor visit. I don't know how many. What was that? Like a month later. Totally, somewhere around a month later.
Yeah. We
go into the doctor. He's asking me how I've been doing. I tell him, I'm getting better every day. I'm up now. I'm walking. I walk into the office. I'm fine. A little bit of back pain. You can still feel it. Eating is kind of uncomfortable sometimes because I'm still healing. But we sit down with him, babe.
Yeah.
And
we sit down.
I'll
let
you tell this part because you're a little bit better.
So the doctor is like, he's one of those straightforward doctors that they don't really do a whole lot of extra talking except for the facts. He's like, yeah, do this, do this, do this. And so he's not really that personable, but he goes and he says to Jameer, so you got to make sure you eat a low-fat diet. And I say, well, we're vegan now. And when I tell you this doctor's whole persona changes, his face lit up. He started asking me questions. He's like, well, how are you? And I'm like, oh, how
listen, he said, well, how are you? And I'm not noticing. He's looking at her. I go to answer, well, I'm just, and he's like, no, you.
He's like, no, you, how are you? And I'm like, well, my energy's good. My numbers are good. And then he started to light up and talk about his experience with it. So then Jameer's like, well, I have a question. I have not been taking my blood pressure or my cholesterol pills since I've been out the hospital.
Won't do it.
The doctor says, listen, now that you're on a vegan diet, you don't need to. You walked in here today, your blood pressure's fine. Your blood work is fine. Yeah. You don't have to take them. Y'all, I don't know if you know how big that is. That's huge because the doctors have to support the drug industry, That's a whole world. That's a whole thing.
That's something that some people don't know.
Right.
A lot of people don't know.
What I'm trying to say is doctors are more likely to tell you to keep taking the drug and not tell you, hey, eating fruits and vegetables and a plant-based diet is going to heal your diseases. That was huge for us.
It's 5 medications down. I don't take a single pill for high blood pressure, cholesterol. Now that we're not medical professionals, so we don't encourage you to just do that the way I did.
Remember, this is a journey. I do want to say I am still taking medication for high blood pressure, diabetes. I actually have a checkup this month, and I'm going to let that be a part of the channel.
By
let
God's
you know
grace,
by God's grace.
Yeah, it's going to be going. That we're going to end that this year. So.
In the name of Jesus, thank you, Lord. So I'm believing for a good report when I go later on this month, and we're gonna update you guys with that. And listen, the whole thing about this, what we're doing now, we want to encourage you. We want to inspire you. We want to show you our journey, and we want you to show us yours. We are here at the beginning. We're only 6 weeks into this thing. So we're going to take you along so that we can together help change the culture of what it looks like to really eat healthy. And grandma, I love your collard greens, girl. I love them. But they wasn't really cooked right, Grandma. You cook all the nutrients out of it.
A ham hock.
You put ham hock in it, and just at the end of the day, I wasn't eating no nutrients. So we're going to be talking about everything. How to make these foods, how to prepare them so that they're healthy. And all of that. We're going to show you more of our family life. We just want to change our culture for the better. I truly believe, he believes, we really believe that for the longest time now, it's been an attack of the enemy on God's children, us not being aware of how to eat healthy. And I believe it's been his attack to try and shorten the lives of God's children through that channel. And so now we're going to try and combat that and interwove into our culture what healthy eating looks like and what healthy lifestyle looks like in general.
So we pray you guys tune in and check us out a little bit more. Right now we can sign off. We took up most of y'all time.
Bye y'all. I love y'all so much. I love y'all. I can't wait till next time.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you.
Leave us some comments. Bye.